Equivalent solids. Solids are said to be equivalent if they have the same volume. The shape, lateral area, and surface area don't matter. This is very similar to what we had when we were working with two-dimensional shapes. Two-dimensional shapes were said to be equivalent if they had the same area. Now that we're in the 3D space, in the world of solids, two solids are considered equivalent if they have the same volume. Let's look at an example. We have two shapes, and we're asked if the two shapes are equivalent. In order to do that, we would have to determine the volume of both solids. Let's start off with the cube. To find the volume of the cube, we're taking the length times the width times the height. In this case, they've conveniently made them all the same, so it's 2 times 2 times 2, which we recognize to be 8, which is then in cubic centimeters. The volume of the pyramid tells us that we take the area of the base, multiply that times the height, and then divide it by 3. Or we can say it's 1/3 the area of the base times the height. From the diagram, we can see that the area of the base will be 2 times 2, and the height is 6. Multiplying that out, we show that the volume is again equal to 8 cubic centimeters. Therefore, we can conclude the two solids are equivalent. Let's look at a different type of example. This time we're given that the two following solids are equivalent, and we're asked to find the radius of the sphere. The first thing we need to do is calculate the volume of the rectangular prism. That volume is equal to length times the width times the height, which is 7.16 centimeters times 6 centimeters times 7 centimeters. Multiplying that out, we get 301.014 cubic centimeters. Now we know the volume of a sphere. Volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. We're looking to find the radius r, and we now know that the volume is going to be 301.014 cubic centimeters based on the fact that these two shapes, or these two solids, are equivalent. So we can now change this formula to say 301.014 is equal to 4/3 times pi r cubed. We're going to solve for r cubed. So to get rid of the 4/3 pi, we're going to divide both sides by 4/3 pi. So we'd end up with 301.014 divided by 4/3 times pi. And if we do that math, we end up with r cubed is equal to 71.86. We now need to do the cube root of 71.86 to get r. So we're looking for the cube root of 71.86. And that equals 4.16 centimeters.
Add this to your memory aid. Try the practice questions in the workbook and check your answers against the answer key.